Balls Fever on SNN.
Hello and welcome to Friday Football Fever. I'm Gia Lancey alongside Don Brennan. Week 3 means teams are really finding their rhythm, Don.
Yeah, I mean, it's going really well. I mean, everybody's starting to move.
Yep.
Everybody's getting a feel for what they've been doing. You know, you're not just practicing against each other. You're playing against other teams. You get a feel for what you could do better and what you need to do better.
Yeah, I think it's really good for the young guys, too. They really had the 2 games to get that experience. But all right, well, let's jump into the highlights, starting out with our highly anticipated Game of the Week.
And now the Game of the Week on SNN.
2 teams with younger coaches still early on in building their program. Sanders leading the Tigers in his 2nd season, while the Christiani era just begun for the Rams. Riverview starts it off. Senior QB Parker Nippert drops back, decides to take it himself for a little QB keeper, gets the first down. Looking like my boy Jalen Hurts last night against your Cowboys.
Easy.
Staying on that drive. Nippert trouble incoming. And when I mean trouble, I mean a 6'3", 240-pound junior linebacker named Chase Henson. He swallows up the Ram. But Brody Wiseman's offense still got a score. Don, you have any change by any chance? Because Nippert does when he throws a dime to Noah Chifa. What a beaut. Cha-ching. They go for 2. 8-0. Rams kick off and do an onside kick, giving Palmetto a great position. So they score pretty quickly. Speedy number 7 swipes through in for the touchdown. Riverview ball now. Quick throw comes into the hands of a white jersey, Jeremiah Patterson, who runs it in for a quick pick 6. But the Rams get right back to it. Nippert airs one out, connects with Trenton Huffman. Nice one. That was a really nice one right on the sideline. That sets them up. Torrey James sneaks himself in and then gets some help to cross the plane. A very back and forth game, but however, there was a lightning delay for over an hour. It just resumed about 15 minutes ago, but it was 31-21 Riverview at last check.
Yeah.
One thing that really stood out to me was all the different players that got a piece of the ball. Riverview has crazy depth, specifically with Brody Wiseman's squad. So I think that's going to really take them far this season.
I figured they might have a delay because when I was driving back from Venice, all the rain and huge lightning strikes were around Riverview, and I knew you were at the game, but I didn't have my phone with me, so I don't know.
At that time, by the time I left, actually, because they gave me a lot of highlights early on. Thank you guys. It was not lightning yet.
Yeah. What I want to know is Nippert, when you said he made change with that dime he threw in cha-ching, does he have one of those little belts like the Good Humor Man used to have? Ask your dad about that.
I
used to actually have a belt with the change and you just ching. Here's your change.
I don't know. Maybe we should get him one. I thought you were going to say.
Back in the 60s, 70s, your dad.
Did he ever go to an ATM, or in Philly we call it the Mac machine?
We used to call it a timeless teller. That's what I called it.
All right, let's keep it moving. Mooney looking to bounce back after a tough loss last week. Coniel Jackson starts it off, finds a gap, glides through, gets on his horse, can't be stopped. Forget about it.
Yep. Somebody give me this link. Nice.
The Cougars get another one later in the first. That's almost identical. Look at this one. Look, it's pretty much the same.
Identical.
But instead of Coniel Jackson, another junior running back for Mooney, Ashton Kelly. He shows off his speed. Mooney's got speed everywhere, let me tell you. And the Cougars dominate the Raiders 39-3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Those runs were almost identical.
I thought you were going to say cha-ching
my cousin,
again.
no, that's like my cousin Vinny. Identical.
Does my cousin Vinny also say forget about it?
Yeah, that's what he says.
All right, well, don't forget to stay by your TV. Let's keep that one, because coming up on Friday Football Fever, the Venice Indians look for their first victory of this season. That's definitely not what we are usually saying in week 3. We'll have the highlight on the other side of the break.
A Football Fever on SNN.
Welcome back to Friday Football Fever. Let's jump right into the national powerhouse who we have right here on the Suncoast. But unlike typical years, they're looking for their first win of the season in week 3.
They're going to be pretty good this year, I hear. Yeah, we go right into it.
The home opener.
The home opener for the Indians. We roll the video. Here it is. They're christening their multi-million-dollar stadium renovation as they took on Bishop Barrow out of Fort Myers. Last year, I think it was like 60-55, the game down in Fort Myers. The first drive of the game, Vikings quarterback Austin Christian, no relation to Mark Christiani, gets a hit as he throws, and Ashari Charles bull rushes his blocker right into him, and it's picked off by Brock Hupp. The Indians go to work as Dorian Jones takes the handoff and hurdles for the first down, but bad snaps caused several issues as they got inside the 5 and they ended up fourth down. Alex Schaefer victimized and Burrow takes over on downs. Scoreless game in the first. Vikings drive down with the help of, well, a pass to Aiden Gonzalez for a first down.
Whoa.
Yeah, came right into me. He almost hit me, but one of the defender did. I'm lucky to be alive. Later in the drive, McCray Thompson muscles his way inside the 2, but Venice's defense holding. The Vikings settled for a field goal, 3-0 lead in the first. I'm trying to turn my mic down, but it's my IFB then. Yes, second quarter, the Indians down inside the 30 again, and they didn't get it. They got stopped on fourth down again, so you go to work. Yes, the Vikings started to drive as Thompson barrels his way for a first down. However, Gonzalez took a pass and has room, but he gets hit and fumbles right into the hands of Irel Dale. Venice in business. Sean Long rolls out and fires to John Ford III. Nice. Yes, he waits for it and takes it and makes a move, goes upfield, gets 55 yards down to the 20. Yes, and they had like 5 penalties, not Venice, but there were like 5 huge penalties going back and forth. So then Tyree Manning's for a first down there. And then, as I said, so many penalties, but they're down at the 10 there. Manning takes the little bubble screen, and he will not be denied. He would not go down, at least until he got in the end zone. And then he was hitting pay dirt, and they were up 7-3. They go on to win. Christen the new stadium. It's beautiful, and they win 27-12.
First win of the season for Venice. Right. A much different score from last year. I have it written here, 71-56.
I was right. I said 60-55.
Either way, it was a high-scoring game last year.
And like quadruple overtime or something,
right? This was not.
Yeah.
So what was the difference? What was different between last year and this year, quickly?
Well, the points for one, but also, Venice, their defense was staunch.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's check on some scores around the Suncoast and Manatee County. Rivalry between Lakewood Ranch and Braden River. The Pirates get the win 10-7. The Headmasters Cup between St. Stephen's and ODA. ODA absolutely dominated in this one, 45-3.
You could say they mastered them.
Yeah. Sarasota Sailors are looking to keep their momentum going from last week against Northport, and they did with a big win. Bayshore got a win over Pinellas Park. Now the Bruins are 2-1, which is just as many wins as they had last season, so keep up the good work, Bayshore.
Go Ace.
Manatee traveled well beyond the Suncoast to Georgia to take on Lowndes. The school head coach Green used to coach at. Unfortunately, the Canes fall 42-0. Not a great start of the year for Manatee, but the Bradenton Christian Panthers popped off and blew out Riverview Academy 47-zip.
All right, and of course we want to thank Joey D's, the Chicago-style eateries who feeds the Friday Night Football crew. They have 4 locations, Palmetto, Bradenton, Sarasota, and Venice, and they're all good, and they're all showing a lot of football games, including the Chiefs game, and I think the Chiefs, well, they were losing late with about 2 minutes to go to the Chargers.
Yeah. Hopefully Patrick Mahomes does well for my fantasy team.
I think.
And hopefully the Bears win for Joey D's, because they're the Chicago Bears official pizza place, I think, or something.
The Bears.
So who, in week 3, who do you feel like really kind of found their rhythm? Would you say Venice did?
Venice definitely did. I mean, again, I don't know. Riverview had that problem. The snaps to the quarterback, a lot of them were grounding. Riverview on opening night, and then Venice tonight on their home opener. A bunch of those snaps, so they got to get those worked out. But they look good, and their defense looked pretty staunch up front for sure. They had some, some holes, but they'll get them worked out. They got like 18, 19, 20 coaches on that staff, so I'm sure they're going to do something.
Sure, but okay, even if they kind of found a rhythm tonight, they definitely don't look like Venice, do they?
No, but they have a 2-headed quarterback, so I think, you got to get in a rhythm. You have to, both of them have to get used to playing here and there and, figure out what they do best.
And you know who's notoriously amazing at figuring that out? John Peacock. Yeah, so I'm sure he will.
And he's got Tyree Mannings, so, the former Booker standout who now is a sophomore at Venice and looking great.
Yeah, and he's going to have tons of offers. All right, that's all for Friday Football Fever. For tonight, we'll see you guys next week.